did we all have a nice lunch?
Yes,
Yes,
very nice, thank you.
Yes,
Very,
food really
very
good.
tasty. Yes.
I need the recipe for that toffee pudding.
The toffee pudding. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
I
delicious.
did miss out though on the cream. I was quite good in that respect.
Very good. I didn't.
I didn't either.
No.
It's all it's a treat, isn't it, to be here? Not just the environment, but the food and everything that goes with it.
Yes, it is.
Unity's
It's a beautiful place.
Yes,
Beautiful.
Unity's very special, isn't it? How did you come into Unity, Margaret?
I came into Unity through Winifred, and she kept saying to me that she had this group of people who met at her house on a Sunday. Would I like to come and join them? And I thought, oh, I don't know. So she said this several times, and then eventually one Sunday I was at a loose end. I thought, I'll go. So I went to Winifred's, and there were about 8 people there. They were all sitting in a circle, and I walked in and thought, this is a bit odd. But I didn't say anything, and someone said, have a seat, so I sat down, and then Winifred did a little talk, and suddenly I found that I was with a group of people who thought as I had always thought. I wasn't somebody odd who believed in that presence upstairs. I was with a group of people who also believed, and it blew my mind. And since then, I've been with Winifred all the way. It completely, well, it didn't alter my thinking. It just confirmed what I'd always thought.
And that's the Huddersfield.
That's the Huddersfield group. Yes, we met in Winifred's house at the time.
Right. Oh.
And how did you start?
Well, I was invited to go to this group called Unity because at that time I'd gone on various paths, you know, yoga path and Chinese medicine path, and I was realising the spirituality of things. You know, everything is spirit, everything is energy, and I was quite happy with that. But what was missing for me was God. You know, I still wanted a God that I could refer to, relate to. But I didn't know that before I went to Unity. But I thought, well, I'll go along to this group and join like you did. And it just so happened it was David Davenport, who was leading the day. And he was talking about the 12 powers. And I thought, wow. Because the 12 powers, as you both know, with the different locations in the body, corresponded perfectly for me with my study of Chinese medicine and the characteristics and the faculties of these different powers. So it resonated instantly, and the added bonus was God.
Yes.
And you know, from that time onwards, I've never had a need to go anywhere else. I'm quite happy with Unity, and it serves my needs. And now, after that, following on from that, we've still got a Birmingham group, and we're still flourishing, and it's great. What about you?
Oh, I came in quite strangely, really. I've been brought up in a Christian Science church, and then just before my mother passed on, a friend of hers wrote to someone in Kansas and happened to mention my mother and ask for prayers for her. And my mother received this card and a daily word from Kansas, all the way from Kansas. And my sister picked it up and read it and said, oh, Dennis, we could both do with this, you know, sort of thing. So we got in touch with Unity UK and David, and my sister immediately took to it like a duck to water.
Yes.
And she went straight into study to become a licensed Unity teacher, but it was a long time before I actually took that path. So it was quite strange. It wasn't wasn't from anyone in England. It came all the way
All
from
the way from America?
Yeah. It was...
And did you have a group?
No. Well, my sister had a group and I helped her in
Yes.
Preston. But when she passed on, I took up this studying and went to live in Maidenhead and work in the office there in Silent Unity. And then it went on from there, you know, sort of thing. So I've never really been in a group, as it were, you know, sort of thing.
But you've actually, I mean, you've had a lot to do with the Birmingham group, haven't you, over the
Oh
years?
yes, I've visited.
Visited
Yes.
and you've put on workshops
Yes,
for us.
and
And,
oh yes, I have done
Yeah.
the workshops and things
Mm.
for quite a few retreats actually.
yeah, but well, the retreats, but you've also
So,
done classes, and I've been
Yes.
to quite a few of your classes, haven't
yes.
I? You as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember Acts to Revelations. Can you remember that one? Acts to Revelations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yes.
That's some time ago.
Was it Pat who did Acts and you did Revelations?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm. It was very good.
Yes, it was over a weekend at Maidenhead.
Yes, it
wasn't
was.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
We've been to some lovely places for retreats, haven't we, really?
Mm.
Yes. It's hard to sort of define the different places, isn't it,
Yes,
that
it
we've
is.
been to?
Yes.
Because we enjoy them all so much, and then when you try to think back, now where was that and where was that? But it is like a family, isn't it? And
Oh, very much so. When you come here, you see people that you haven't seen for quite some time and sort of catch up like a family catches up when they get together, you know, sort of thing. It's really, really well.
And time just melts away.
Yes.
It could be years that you haven't seen someone. That, I mean, once you start talking, it's...
Yes, it all comes
It's like
back,
it was
doesn't
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it's,
Yes, we're very blessed to have met Unity. Well, I'm very blessed to have met Unity.
Do you think we meet Unity or Unity meets us?
I think, yes,
I
probably
think
been
you are
somehow-
drawn to it. You
Yeah.
are drawn to each other somehow.
Yes, somehow or other, that's the way it happens.
I think so, because it's almost as though Unity chooses the people.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a judgmental way, but if you are questing,
If you're looking, then
you're
Unity's
looking,
there.
and then someone introduces you to Unity, or you find a daily word, or something like that, or you see something on, you know, you're scanning the web, or...
And it's nice to see that at these retreats there are usually just a few people who are new.
yes.
So it's sort of you can see it moving on all the time.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yes, it is. Very important.
I think I can tell you a little incident, I think, where Unity definitely helped me. And it really helped me with my relationship with my dad. You know, I'd got quite a difficult relationship with my father, you know. It sort of was at odds, and I seemed to lack a little bit of respect. But that's how it had developed. I mean, I loved him, but somehow or another I didn't respect him. But then, of course, he got ill, and he was really, really poorly. And he had to be administered to, you know, for his every need. And I saw my mum, you know, feeding him and looking after him. And my mum had got her own challenges. And then I looked at my dad and I sort of said a silent prayer, please show me what to do. And Unity principles are we are all children of God. And we are all connected in spirit. There's no separation. And I looked at my dad and I just saw him for what he was. And the forgiveness just overwhelmed me. I can't tell you whether I was forgiving him or forgiving myself, I'm not sure. But somehow then the love came back, the compassion came back. And when he did die, I felt so blessed that I'd been given that last few weeks of forgiveness to reconnect with who he really was. which was my dad, but also a kindred spirit. And I was so thankful, really, really thankful for that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would have happened if I hadn't have been in Unity. So, there you is.
Well, I have a friend. He is the husband of a friend of mine. And for many years, I won't call him by his proper name, I'll call him Arthur. Arthur has been a thorn in my flesh. He has this very nasty habit which he will not stop. He breathes. And somehow or other, wherever we used to go...
He breathes.
Yes. Arthur was there. Wherever his wife went, then Arthur had to go as well. And Arthur and I had a real personality clash until I got into Unity. And suddenly I began to talk to God about him. And that's several years ago now, and I would say that now he is one of my best friends. We get on really well, and he's still breathing, and I'm very happy that he's still breathing. But at one time,
He used to breathe at the wrong time.
he would keep on doing this. And his wife would keep bringing him. We'd go out for a meal and Arthur had to be there.
And breathe.
But as I say, since I'm sure Arthur hasn't altered, but since I started seeing him in a different light through the way, seeing the Christ in him, he now he's not a different person, but to me he is. Our relationship has altered beyond all recognition.
Yes, so it's you that's changed in a way.
Yes,
You've changed your...
I've changed my attitude to him, and I would never have done that without Unity.
No. That's good.
Yeah. I think one of my times was when we were having trouble as a challenge as a family with a feeling of lack, real feeling of lack. And I had already decided that it was because as a youngster, whenever we wanted to do anything that was a little bit different, my father used to say, "Oh, we can't do that, we haven't got enough money." And somehow or other it had latched on to my thinking, and I couldn't sort of let it go. And my sister made a transition, and I was very tired because I'd been looking after her. And I thought I would like to really do something, go somewhere to have a little bit of time and quietness. And I told Doreen and some other people who were with me in Unity, and he was saying, well, money must be found for you to do this, you know, sort of thing. And we all prayed about it, and they were very supportive of me. And suddenly I came into some money, and it was exactly £72, I remember. And there was a retreat on that weekend, and it was £72. It was at Pershore.
Holland House.
Holland House, yeah.
Oh, yes.
So I had the money, £72, so I rang Doreen and said, oh, she said, yes, well, we haven't got any room now. So, of course, I was thinking, oh, well, it's not working out as I expected it to do, you know, sort of thing. And then David rang back and said, we've had a cancellation, and it's from someone in Blackpool, and the lady that she was coming with from Preston is now coming on her own, and she will bring you, because I live near Preston, she will bring you if you like. So I had the money and I had the transport, and it all worked out completely. Well, and actually, since that time, I've never really had any challenge at all where money was concerned. I suddenly saw this, very much saw that I had to let that go. I haven't got the money, because the money will be found. Or it's not just money. Anything that you really need will be found if you just put it into God's care.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the key, isn't it? It's need as opposed to
Yeah.
want.
Oh yes, it's not want, it's need.
Yes.
Sort of thing. It's not for trying to find money for this, that and the other. It's just if you really need it at the time. It's always found.
The universe provides.
It does. It does.
Once you get the idea it's not your money, it's God's money,
Yes.
then you're on your way.
Yes, you're. Yes.
I have a friend who was having money challenges, and I said to him, who's in charge of your bank account? He said, I am. I said, well, put it in God's hands and you'll find that things will alter. He has done, and they have. He's not rich. He's like I am. There's always enough. And that's all you need.
Yes, it is.
You don't need a lot of money. You need enough and a bit to spare.
Yeah.
And also the faith and the trust.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Because that's something else that's come into my consciousness just of late, is the difference between faith and trust. I think most of us on a spiritual path, we all have faith. We know what faith is. But then to take that next step and have the trust that it's going to come through, whatever it is, that's the key, isn't it? So after faith comes trust,
Yeah.
and then will come the manifestation of whatever your need.
That is the biblical verse that I have lived by for years and years. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths.
Oh, that's nice. And where's that from, do you know?
Isaiah, somewhere. I'm not quite sure
I'll
where.
have to look that one up.
But it's
Yes.
it's been my verse that I've lent on.
Yeah. Because faith on its own, in a sense, isn't enough.
No.
It's the trust that moves it,
Yes.
or brings it forth, isn't it?
So,
And at some point that dawned, well, it's dawned on me.
At some point it dawns on most people.
most people,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
And if it doesn't, it's very sad.
But it's hard also, in another sense, to have trust, especially if it's a challenge that you're facing. Okay, you've got the faith, and you might sort of see the outcome or whatever it is, but then to actually step out and trust,
Yeah.
that takes, it can be quite
Yes, it
difficult.
is.
But it's necessary though, isn't it? I mean, sometimes we do have to step out of our comfort zones, don't we?
Yeah.
I think Unity helps us to do that.
Yes.
I'm sure it does.
Yes.
I'm very blessed that I found Unity. Very blessed.
I think I am too.